Imagine if everyone in the world simultaneously was a little more playful and a little more delighted. Imagine the psychological, physiological, and social impact this could have. If, by adding play to parts of our lives, we collectively became a little more motivated and a little more happy. Imagine if we all worked together a little more, and the difference this could make globally. Games have the power to achieve this. Games hack your brain. They activate your limbic system and release feel-good hormones. That's what makes games so popular, so engaging, and so powerful. The mechanics used in game design are not limited to cards, boards, and video games. They're all around you. Think about it. Every time you earn status points by flying, every time you buy that 9th coffee to get one free, every time you work hard in school to get an A instead of a B, and every time you bribe your child to eat their vegetables with the promise of dessert, you are engaging with a game mechanic. Game mechanics are already affecting your life. Gamification is about using these mechanics to design an experience to engage users to solve real-world problems. It's about applying a game layer on top of the real world. An example is the piano stairs. The aim was simple: get people to take the stairs instead of the escalator. By placing tactile piano keys onto the stairs, people could create music as they walked and burn a few extra calories while having fun. The result? A 66% increase in people taking the stairs. Companies like Fitbit are also using elements of gamification to encourage you to exercise more. Fitbit's app tracks your exercise, gives you daily challenges, lets you compete with friends, and rewards you with badges. Another example is Chore Wars, which turns your household into a game. The members of your household choose a character: a wizard, an elf, an orc, and you compete against each other to do household chores. 10 points for making the bed, 20 points for doing the dishes, and 30 points for taking out the trash. Current examples of gamification tend to rely on simple mechanics, like points, badges, and leaderboards, and a lot of them rely on competition. But there's a lot more to gamification than badges and competition, and it has the potential to help us achieve great things together. I fell in love. I fell in love with gamification when I discovered that it could nudge behaviour in the real world. I designed an experience for my colleagues at ThinkPlace to encourage a range of team behaviours. From daily irritants like tidying a mess and submitting a form, to strategically critical behaviours like sharing knowledge and building culture by showing appreciation for each other. This is a mechanic we developed. It's called a mess monster. You place it on a mess to, 1, signal that this is a messy area that needs cleaning, and 2, empower people to clean it. Before mess monsters, cleaning was kind of annoying. It was frustrating, especially if it wasn't your mess. After mess monsters, cleaning was kind of fun. After all, you're capturing monsters, and cleaning rewarded you and your team. This is just one example of how we used a game mechanic to reframe daily behaviours through fun. In my PhD research in gamification and my work with clients, I am driven by the question of how we can use gamification to delight, to celebrate, and to achieve great things. I've worked with many clients to apply gamification in their contexts, from government departments to schools and restaurants. And I've found that all of them are trying something new because they understand that current approaches to engaging people are not enough. Global trends in technology, flexible and employee-centred workplaces, and generational expectations are just a few of the converging trends driving gamified experiences. Gartner research predicts that 50% of businesses will have at least one gamified process by the end of 2018. A global workforce study by Towers Perrin found that less than 1/3 of employees are meaningfully engaged in their work. A study by Talent LMS found that 79% of learners said that they would be more productive if their education was more game-like. And by 2025, 3 out of 4 workers will be millennials who have grown up on video games. As digital natives, millennials have grown up in an era of technology and have high expectations for being engaged. These trends show the demand for more engaging and user-centred experiences. Our standards for how we engage with brands, products, companies, and workplaces is increasing. We expect to be engaged. We expect to have experiences designed and tailored for us. And we want to be part of something bigger than ourselves that connects us meaningfully with each other and with a purpose. And this is where I see gamification going. But to understand what gamification truly is and how to realize its potential for behavioural and social change, we need a framework. I'd like to share the 4 orders of gamification, my framework to better understand, implement, and evaluate gamification experiences. There are 4 orders, and they go up in complexity based on the number of people playing and interacting, the types of behaviours being incentivised, the duration of time the experience goes for, and how much integration there is with everyday life. The first order, playful design, is about engaging for a moment. It's about fun, has simple or no rules, and it engages for a short amount of time. The piano stairs is a great example of this order. Second order, transactional gamification, is about encouraging task completion by individuals with some interaction with others. The mechanics here tend to be simple, like points, badges, and leaderboards, and a lot of examples here rely on competition. Chore Wars is an example of transactional gamification. And this is where the majority of gamification applications stop. But what if we took it further? What if we took it beyond competition-only experiences and worked together for collective good? This is where third order, social gamification, comes in. It's about more complex and social behaviours, like sharing knowledge, collaborating, innovating. Here the experience goes for months and years, with groups like organisations and communities playing, and there is meaningful integration with everyday life. There aren't many examples here yet, but they will include teams and workplaces working towards organisational objectives through a gamified experience. They will involve sporting teams, rewarding ongoing training effort and team spirit. And they will involve schools, creating more engaging learning environments and curriculum structures. Fourth order, systemic gamification, is about gamifying at scale. Here, a large variety of behaviours are being incentivised. The experience runs for years. Groups as large as communities and entire nations are playing and interacting, and there is substantial merging with everyday life. This is a somewhat theoretical level, but there is a current pilot in China that is exploring this notion. It's called Sesame Credit, and it's about gamifying China's citizens. Citizens receive a score based on their social media activity and online purchases. The higher your score, the more easily you have access to things like booking a hotel without a deposit, easier access to loans, and having applications processed faster. The Sesame credit score has become so valued that some people are even putting it onto their online dating profile. Sesame Credit is creating a meta-level game experience for citizens across their life, with their game score having a very real impact on their life. The 4 orders of gamification framework is powerful because it defines the impact we're making, directs the mechanics we use, and guides how we evaluate outcomes. The piano stairs won't address the obesity epidemic because you need a 3rd and 4th order gamification to do that. But the piano stairs will change behaviour in the moment. If we want to create social and systemic level change, we need 3rd and 4th order gamification. I see gamification as not something new or innovative. I see gamification as the new norm. Imagine replacing our current school system with its archaic industrial age setup with a gamified one. What if, instead of grading students by age and giving them only one chance to succeed on an exam, students became players and could choose their own education adventure? What if students could choose which subject areas to master and try again and again while having fun? What if they could learn from peers who had already mastered a subject and instead of being labelled as cheating, were instead rewarded with points and badges for collaboration and helpfulness? Imagine if we were all playing the game of environmental sustainability, that your household received points every time you switched off the lights, put out the recycling bin, cycled instead of drove, and used reusable shopping bags. Imagine that your household level of sustainability gave you discounts on your bill, funded the planting of trees in your local neighbourhood, and donated to wildlife funds. Imagine if cities worked together as teams and we competed against the other cities in our country, and then our individual and collective effort could be celebrated so that we could see how our daily actions affect the health of our city, our country, and our world. I see gamification as the key to nudging behaviour, individually and collectively, to achieve great things. I see gamification as a better way to connect with each other, to address the critical problems we face today. I leave you with this thought. Life and work don't need to be so serious. Life and work can be fun.